Okay, I'll call the meeting to order of the Planning and Zoning Commission for April 10th, 2025. Get a roll call of officers, please.
Commissioner Odonga,
Here.
Commissioner Lear,
Here.
Commissioner Jimenez,
Present.
Commissioner Fisher,
Here.
Commissioner Acosta, Vice Chair Zerniak, Chair Zargis.
Present. Approval of changes to the agenda. Look for a motion.
I move we approve the agenda as presented. Second.
Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, we have approved the agenda. Approval of minutes, April 10, 2025. Look for a motion.
Motion to approve minutes as is.
Second.
Okay, those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Minutes are approved. Old business? No old business. New business, case number V25-003. Charlene, yeah, okay. Good, I can stand up for a minute and close my hearing.
Commissioner Zargis, would it be okay to announce if they wish to speak?
Yeah. I'm sorry, anyone who wishes to speak on any of the cases, please see Eileen to sign up. It's all yours.
The little girl's room.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Charlene Santisteban, Doña, 845 North Motel Boulevard, Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Do you affirm the testimony you're about to give today is the truth under penalty of law?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Well, I have 3 cases. It's my show today. So our first item is case number V25003. The owner's Juan Campbell. The location is 3120 South Highway 28, south of Las Cruces. It's in Chambarino. It's a T4 general neighborhood zoning. The variance is to side and rear yard setbacks. This is the location map. This is the land use aerial. The description of the property. The subject property is 0.17 acres, 7,600 square feet. Parcel located in a T4 neighborhood. There is a 1,957 square foot residence built in 1930. In 2004, La Union Community District was approved, and the subject property was zoned CMU, Community District Mixed Use, to provide for single-family homes and small-scale commercial uses. The surrounding area is rural, transitioning to a town center and with development of residential commercial land uses along Highway 28, with building footprints within 5 to 10 feet of the paved principal arterial. Highway 28 was established in 1905 by the Territorial Road Commission as a farm-to-market road. The area developed along Highway 28 with buildings close to the roadway to accommodate minimal walking distances between properties on both sides of the road. Sierra Vista Growers is located behind the property, and Mesa Vista Winery is across the street on the corner of Benton Road and Highway 28. Highway 28 is a historic scenic byway with historic town site centers along the route. The property is confined to development due to size and location. Table 5.6 site standards T4 lot coverage is 65% maximum, and none of this reaches that maximum level. The applicant's request does not exceed 65% of lot coverage. Highway 28 is a principal arterial paved road, state road with 80-foot right-of-way. This is a parcel close-up, and this is the property right here that we're talking about. This is a zoning map. The request on February 7th, 2025, applicant Juan Campbell submitted the variance request to a side and rear setbacks for a 17 by 28-foot pergola, an accessory structure, and an 18.3 by 20 carport, and an 11 by 36.7 porch. The applicant is proposing a 0 to 2.2 setback where 5 feet is required within the T4 zone. This is the site plan. This is the pergola, that they proposed pergola, the porch, and the carport. Public notices were sent on March 14th, 19 letters, and got no opposition or support for the property, for the case. Notices were put in Las Cruces Sun News March 16th, and signs were posted in a timely manner. This is the subject property, and this is the side. This is the north side where they want to put the porch, and this is the south side where they want to put the carport. I couldn't get to the backyard, so I took a picture from Sierra Vista Growers back and pointed an arrow to where the pergola is going to go. And these are the signs that were sent. And this is Highway 28, north and south. These are surrounding properties. This one is right next to it on the north side, and this is to the south. And this is Sierra Vista Growers, and Mesa Vista Winery is across the street. And these are across the street, and there's a really nice building. And this is the, I put the wrong map in there, the area of notification. Let's see, agency reviews. Building services states that a pergola that is 5 feet from the property line shall require a 1 hour fire rating, but it's going to be 2.2 feet, so it needs that 1 hour fire rating. The proposed carport and covered porch will also encroach into the setbacks and require the same 1 hour fire rating. The carport and porch shall require the entire addition to have the same 1 hour rating as it is attached to the dwelling. Findings, the variance will not constitute, they have to meet these 4 requirements, and I didn't put number 4 on there. The variance will not constitute a grant of special privilege inconsistent with the limitations on other properties in the area of notice. The variance will not be detrimental to the public health, safety, and welfare, or be materially injurious to properties or improvements in the area of notice. There is a physical hardship resulting from the size or shape of the parcel, or from existing structures on the parcel, or from topographical or physical conditions on the site or in the area of notice, and the hardship is not self-imposed. And the variance upholds the purpose intent of this chapter. Public safety and welfare are secured and substantial justice is done. These are the findings. The applicant states the variance will not constitute a grant of special privilege because the property is small with a lot size of 66 by 113.43, 0.17 acres, 7,600 square feet, and the area available for buildable areas limited due to the size of the lot and the location. Many of the properties that front Highway 28 are add capacity for buildable space without a variance. Additionally, there are limited opportunities to increase the lot size due to the historical nature of development along Highway 28. The findings, number 2, the variance will not be detrimental to the public since the development will occur within the applicant's property. The applicant will follow recommendations from building services by providing a 1-hour firewall. Number 3, the property does meet the standard. The property is limited to its existing size and no options to increase building size. The location of the property along Highway 28 developed long before there were building standards or zoning. As a result, the building facades are close to the roadway meant to be a farm-to-market route. Number 4, granting of the variance will uphold the spirit and intent of the UDC. Create orderly, harmonious, economically sound development in order to promote the health, safety, and general welfare of the residents of the county. And these are the findings. The property is outside of any incorporated municipality, so the P&Z has jurisdiction over this case. The administrative duties, we have met those. The proposed 26 by 17 pergola and the porch and the carport will be 0 to 1.6 3/4. Well, the covered porch will be 0 to 1.6 3/4 inches from the property line where 5 foot is required. That will be the carport. The other ones are 2.2. Public notices have been met as prescribed. The variance does meet the UDC standards and findings of Doña Code. Criteria, and I've gone over all this already. They've met all of these. Staff recommendations, based on the findings of fact, staff analysis, and agency comments, staff recommends conditional approval of case V25003 for a variance with the following conditions. A portion of the pergola that is less than 5 feet from the property line shall require a 1-hour fire rating. The carport and covered porch will also encroach on the setbacks, require a same 1-hour fire rating. The carport and porch shall require the entire addition to have the rating as attached to the dwelling. This concludes my presentation.
Any questions?
Do you have what's the width of the carport that they're proposing? Do you know?
Let me go back to the. Okay. Let's see. I can.
I have the square footage, but I don't have the width.
It's 18.18. It's small, I can't read it.
Is that 18?
18 something, it's on the
The reason I'm
top.
asking is that's the only one that literally goes to a zero
To a 0,
zero
yes.
setback.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if the carport needs to be that wide, if they could be conformed with the 2.2, the other ones, and
It's
still be
ve-
a functional carport.
Yeah, it's very tight. Let's see. Let me go back. See, that's the area for the
Right.
carport.
Okay,
Okay,
maybe I'll ask the applicant.
yes, okay,
I have one for you.
okay.
Do you know what is, you mentioned that you can only be like 65% coverage on the
Yes,
lot?
uh-huh.
After they add all of this stuff, do you know what that percentage ends up at?
No, it will not meet that 65. It won't meet
still won't
that
affect the
threshold.
65%?
Yeah, I calculated it.
Thank you. I just wanted that clarified.
Okay.
Can we hear from the applicant?
Good morning.
Good morning. Please state your name and address for the record.
Juan Campbell, 3120 South Highway 28, Anthony, New Mexico, 88021.
Do you affirm the testimony you're about to give today is the truth under penalty of law?
Yes.
Thank you.
So based on that picture, the actual pillars of the carport will be inside the 2.2 feet. The overhang will not be. Yes. What's on the ground is going to be inside. Correct. It will be inside of those black pillars that are already there.
Oh, is that what I'm seeing along that edge there? Are those the pillars that are going to be for the carport?
They're going to be inside of that. Yeah, those will stay.
So I just, quick follow-up, because you did provide us with a letter in here. Within your letter, you do say you're not going to be any closer than 2 feet. Just want to reemphasize, you are 2 feet away from that line, right?
Right, and
Not up against.
with the overhang on this picture, yes. On the other ones, it will be within. Now, the fence is actually like 18 inches to 2 feet on my property line. We built it because I didn't want to encroach on the neighbor at the time. So that where the fence is not actually where the survey is at.
Understood. Thank you.
Other questions of the applicant, or have anything to add to your statement?
No, I mean, if it's granted, it will not interfere with public safety or the norms of the area.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Members of the public signed up for this?
No, sir.
Nothing? Okay. Guess we'll look for a motion.
I make a motion, we approve case number V25-003 with conditional approval as requested by staff personnel.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Uranga, second by Commissioner Jimenez. Any discussion on the motion? Can we get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Uranga,
Yes.
Commissioner Lear,
Yes.
Commissioner Jimenez,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Fisher,
Yes.
Chair Zargis.
Yes. Okay, that's need my glasses. V25-003 passes. Thank you. Next up, we have case number V25-004.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Charlene Santisteban, 845 North Hotel Boulevard.
And do you affirm the testimony you're about to give today is the truth under penalty of law?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, this is variance 25004. And the owner is Maria Nevares, and the location is 117 Lomas Avenue, and it's Del Cerro subdivision. The zoning is D2L, medium density residential limited. The variance is for setbacks between structures. The structures are 5'6" apart, where 10 feet is required. This is the location map, and this is the land use aerial. The description of the property, the subject property is 0.34 acres, 14,759 square feet parcel located in D2L. Medium density residential, it currently has a 1,440 square foot residence built in 1974 in Del Cerro subdivision. In 2004, the subject property was zoned CR1, Single Family Residential District, to provide single-family homes. The surrounding area is built up with homes with similar lot sizes throughout the subdivision. The applicant constructed an accessory dwelling and accessory structure and a porch, all without permits. The accessory structure and dwelling are 5'6" apart. And this is our requirement here, table 5.9 in D2 and D2L, where an accessory buildings shall be 10 feet from each other. This is the parcel close-up, and it doesn't have the other building on there. It hasn't been updated. And this is the zoning map, and they're all D2 surrounded. February 18th, Maria Nevares submitted a variance request to the 5'6" setback requirement. The accessory dwelling is 665 square feet with a covered porch of 20 by 33, and the accessory structure is the same size. This is the overall site plan. Public notifications, 31 letters were sent out on March 14th, and notices in the Sun News on March 16th. We got no letters of opposition or support. This is the subject property. And this is the one building, this is the storage building. And then this is inside, building services went in to inspect. And so this is the two accessory structures there. And this is a separation of 5 foot 6 inches. And this is Lomas Street looking east and west. And these are adjacent properties. And this is across the street. And this is the area of notification. And these are Chapter 315, our crisis, our basis for looking at this case. The agency comments, the fire marshal said design standard stamps shall be provided for the entirety of plans set as required by IFC 2021, Section 106.1. Appendix B, Fire Flow Requirements Division will be required to present and witness the hydrostatic. The fire department has to be there so they can do this test. And they have to have a fire flow of 1,000 gallons per minute for 2 hours. And building services, they will need a 1 hour fire rating between both structures. And the environment department, you can disregard that because they have city sewer. So this doesn't apply. And these are the findings. The variance will, and these are the same 4 factors that we went through a while ago. The subject property is 0.34 acres in a D2L zone. The applicant is 5.6 inches between setback. And these are the structures. The findings, number 1 for the criteria, the variance will constitute a grant of special privilege because they could have put those buildings at 10 feet apart and still met all the setbacks. Many of the properties in the subdivision have accessory structures that meet the setback requirements. Number 2, the variance will be detrimental to the public health since buildings do not meet the minimum standard of 10 feet between structures. If approved, the applicant will need to comply with recommendations from building services. Number 3, the property does not meet this standard. And number 4, granting the variance will not uphold the spirit and intent of the UDC. Create intent, which this is a quote, create harm from the UDC, create orderly, harmonious, economically sound development in order to promote the health, safety, and general welfare of the residents of the county. Violation of with health, safety, that one's, disregard that one. The property is outside of any incorporated, you have authority to hear this case. And these are all the setbacks. I won't repeat it again. The findings, the applicant is requesting a special privilege consistent with the UDC. Many of the properties in the subdivision have accessory structures that meet the setback requirements. Number 2, the variance will be detrimental to the public health, public interest since buildings do not meet minimum standards of 10 feet between structures. And you can disregard that second sentence. The property does not meet the standards. This is a self-imposed hardship. Granting of the variance will not uphold the spirit and intent of the UDC. Staff findings, recommendations. Based on the findings of fact, we recommend denial of variance 25004. However, if the Planning and Zoning Commission wishes to approve, staff recommends the following conditions. The applicant must obtain building permits for the accessory dwelling, accessory structure, and the covered porch. A 1 hour fire rating on both the accessory dwelling and accessory structure shall be approved by building services and firewall installed on both accessory dwellings and accessory structure. A triple fee will be applied for all permits. The applicant must adhere to building services requirements for fire safety. And you can disregard that last one. And that concludes my presentation.
Any questions of staff?
Yes. On number 4, you have, they must adhere to building services requirements for fire safety. What does that mean? What would they have to do to?
They have to do that firewall. And also that test.
Okay, so there's no requirement for them to actually move one of those buildings?
No.
Okay.
If you approve it, they do not. I don't know what happens if it is not approved.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I just had a question regarding the applicant's letter. It appears that it runs on. Is there additional?
No,
that's
there
missing from
wasn't.
it? I checked the hard copy as well as the
Yes, that's
electronic
that's all she submitted, yeah.
Yeah, it appears like you got to flip the page over to keep reading.
Yes, yeah, it,
Okay. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything.
no, I understand, yes.
Thank you.
Further questions of staff? Okay. We hear from the applicant.
Yes. She only speaks Spanish, so I will have to translate.
Okay.
Buenos días.
Buenos dias. Eileen, we need to swear in the,
Please state your name and address for the record.
¿Perdón? María Lourdes Nevares.
Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give today is the truth under penalty of law?
Sí, que vas a,
¿Decir la verdad? Sí.
Testimonio va a ser la verdad.
Sí, claro que sí.
we really need an interpreter, I think. Yeah.
Gracias.
My Spanish is atrocious, so. Whatever.
Buenos días.
Okay, buenos dias. I have one question. Is it possible to move or take down, one of those structures? It's non-conforming.
Posible para mover o para quitar el edificio.
Si tendría que hacerlo, pero no
If
es
she has to
posible.
do it, she'll do it.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So with it, my question is, how is the structure built? Does it have a foundation?
¿Cómo está construido el edificio? ¿Tiene fundación?
Sí.
¿Sí tiene uno?
Sí.
¿Quién lo hizo?
It'll be a little hard to
Nosotros
move.
hicimos.
Okay, they built it themselves. It has a foundation.
Yeah. My speaking's not great, but my understanding's better. Man, that's gonna be a little difficult to move.
No puedes moverlo.
No.
Pues no sería tan fácil, pero
Okay.
It's not that easy to move, but if she has to.
I'm just, they've done so much work on it. I'm trying to do this
Es mucho
with,
trabajo y ellos están tratando de entender qué puedes hacer. Okay.
gracias.
Es mucho trabajo.
Sí.
Has building services inspected the building to make sure that it is according to code?
¿Alguien ha entrado al edificio a inspectarlo?
No,
¿Nadie ha entrado del condado?
no, de hecho, pues estaba esperando esta audiencia para que fueran a inspectar.
No one has inspected the building, but she was waiting for this to occur so that they can go inside and inspect it, just to see what the occurrence is, what happens after this.
And after they make the inspection, if it is not up to code, then she will have to take it down.
Entiéndese que cuando entran los inspectores, si ellos encuentran algo que no es legal, tal vez, tal vez que puedes quitar el edificio.
¿Está de acuerdo con eso?
Sí, sí, claro que sí.
She's understanding it.
yeah.
She did go with Dan Lilly, and he did the site plan for her. So a professional engineer, so he did the site plan for her. And also building services went in and they took pictures, and they did go into the buildings. So they did take that picture, so they have been out there. They have not inspected the buildings themselves, but they did go out to the site.
Did he also do the foundation design?
I do not know that, but That's what he does that. That's what Dan Lilly does, so he can step up.
Había diseño de la fundación, del concreto. ¿Quién hizo el concreto? ¿Quién hizo el piso?
Pues mi esposo, entre todos lo formamos, mis hijos, mi esposo y yo, y nosotros pusimos pues sí, la varilla, sí tiene varilla, sí tiene todo lo que tiene que tener un concreto.
¿Su esposo es contratista o ingeniero?
No, no, señora.
Is your husband a contractor or an engineer?
Pero sí fue un ingeniero, ya cuando me pidieron todo esto, pues fue un ingeniero a revisar todo esto.
She said that an engineer did go and inspect it afterwards, but her husband and her sons were the ones that built it. They added the metal inside, they added all the strength inside the concrete.
And they have the engineer's inspection, a letter approving it?
Tal vez puedes agarrar una carta diciendo que los ingenieros sí han visto el trabajo. Sí puedes agarrar un letra, algo así, una carta.
No sé si la puede agarrar porque ellos más bien fueron a ver toda la estructura y claro que miraron el piso, pero ya estaba completado, ¿me entiendes?
Someone did see it, but they didn't get a letter, but they can probably get a letter from the person that did see it.
Other questions of the applicant? Comment? Gracias.
Gracias.
Anyone else signed up on this?
Yes, I have Daniel Rangel.
Good morning, all.
Good morning. Please raise your right hand and state your name and address for the record.
It's Daniel Rangel. I live at 116 Lomas Avenue.
Do you affirm the testimony you're about to give today is the truth under penalty of law?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning. I was just gonna ask some questions, but you guys already answered everything, so sorry. I'm good now. All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you. It's nice to win one for a change.
Doing our job.
Anything else? I'll look for a motion. And remember, we do not make
Mr. Chair.
motions to deny.
Before we go for a motion, I'm not sure, did you have anything to say earlier? I saw you grabbing the mic. I'm not sure if I wanted to give you a chance to weigh in before we move forward.
No, I already said it about the Dan Lilly that she did go with an engineer.
Thank you.
I think, are you addressing Sean?
Yes, John,
Okay.
please.
Okay.
Sean,
Chair
please
Georges,
state.
Commissioners,
Sean,
Yes.
please state your name and address for the record.
Sean Vick, 845 North Motel Boulevard.
Do you affirm the testimony you're about to give today is the truth under penalty of law?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Commissioner and Commissioner Fisher. So my inspectors did go in and just did a cursory inspection, just to take some photos inside. If you do approve this, then we will require an engineered stamped set of plans for the foundation since it's already done, if Mr. Lilly did that. The issue we have is one of them is livable, the other one's just an accessory dwelling. So the livable one, we may have to go in and remove some sheetrock, look at insulation, look at some electrical wiring, but that's everything that we will do in the inspection process and the plan review that we're doing. The secondary building is just basically open on the inside from the pictures I remember. And so this building, she could unbolt it, pour an additional 5 feet of concrete or 10 feet of concrete and move the building over if she had to, and just leave that concrete pad. If you grant the variance, then we'll have to have a UL designed 1 hour firewall for those both structures. So that's just what I wanted to weigh in.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
Very helpful.
Any other comments? Look for a motion.
I move for approval of case number V25-004 with the conditions that the owner complies with all requirements from the buildings department, all permits for both of the structures that we're talking about, okay? And a triple fee for not having requested those permits in advance.
Second.
Second, okay.
Can someone please explain the motion to the applicant? Chris? It was basically
Yeah, what's,
approval with staff recommendation,
What's
conditional
listed?
approval. Good? Okay. Call the roll call, Eileen. Motion by Commissioner Fisher, seconded by Commissioner Jimenez to approve conditionally this variance.
Commissioner Uranga,
Yes.
Commissioner Lear,
yes,
Commissioner Jimenez,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Fisher,
Yes.
Chair Zarges.
No, based on staff recommendations.
Thank you.
I think that it would cost, my belief is that it would cost more to bring her into compliance than it would be to take down that building and move it over on another pad. But we're 4-1. Okay, so B25-004 has been conditionally approved. Move on to case number Z 25-007.
Okay,
You're working overtime today, Charlene.
I know.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And please state your name and address for the record.
Charlene Santisteban, 845 North Botel Boulevard.
Do you affirm the testimony you're about to give today is the truth under penalty of law?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a zoning case at 25007. The applicant is Pete and Lisa Lucero, and it's 109 East Thorpe Road. The zoning is I-1 light industrial. The zone change is on a 0.25 acre parcel zoned I-1 to a D1 low-density residential zoning district to place a manufactured home on the property. This is the location map. This is the aerial photo. I know it's really dark. This is the zoning map. And the description of the property, the subject property is a 0.25 acre parcel located in I-1 zone. The subject property was original zoned, and the ETZ is at EI1, I guess, light industrial district. On February 2nd, 2017, the UDC was adopted, and it was zoned I-1. The resident request is for a down zone to a residential zone. The surrounding area is mixed residential with single-family, multifamily, industrial, commercial uses. Generally, residential and industrial uses on the same property are prohibited, so they cannot have a residence on there and live on it in an I-1. The properties in the adjacent I-1 zone are legal non-conforming, and the residential uses, they're non-conforming. So if they want to make a change, they will have to get a zone change if they want to do that. The request could be viewed as spot zoning. The down zone would be more appropriate for use compatible with the contiguous properties to the east and west. The ETZ zoning ordinance was enacted in February 1st, 1989, and continued with the UDC. Many of the parcels have not developed as industrial uses, and the properties have not come into conformance with the zoning ordinance. The property does not meet the standard for a normal septic tank from NMED and will be required to install an aerobatic septic system, which is more expensive and more upkeep. On February 18th, 2025, the applicant Pete and Lisa Lucero submitted the zone change request to a down zone for the property from I-1 to D1 for residential use. This is a site plan. It's a really funky lot. It's very dark. This is the property. And it took several pictures because I didn't know, but I thought this was the best one. And this is Thorpe Road. And these are the notification signs. And this is the property to the east, and this is to the west. And that's the industrial, that is an industrial zone property, which they are using it as industrial. And that's to the west also. And this is across, oh, excuse me, that's across the street. Okay, the PNZ has jurisdiction over to hear this case. 17 letters were mailed on March 16th, and legal ads were posted in Sun News on March 17th. Signs were posted, and agenda was posted. And of course, this is the decisional criteria for zone changes. Potential number of homes, applicant is proposing 1 single-family residence. Population will increase by 2 individuals. There will be no impact to the demographics. And traffic flows, no large impact to traffic flows is anticipated. The access to the property will be from Thorpe Road, which is an 85-foot right-of-way state-maintained road. There is a need for new commercial. The zone change will allow the applicant to place a single-family residence. Potential water. Water is available from Doña Mutual Domestic Water, and wastewater is permitted through NMED. Existing structures, there is sufficient infrastructure capacity for the proposed use. Parking and accessibility will be provided on the property. Environmentally sensitive, there has been no evidence submitted that there are endangered or rare species of animal and plant life. And the impact of the zone change. The zone change will have minimal impact on surrounding properties since the proposed use will be compatible with contiguous residential land uses and how it was originally developed. This has not, they've had the industrial zoning for 36 years, and it has not developed, has not changed, has not come into conformance. So the implement of the best practices, the zone change, they will have to follow the best practices with all of the building services and fire, all of that. The staff analysis, this is where it meets the comprehensive plan. To ensure regulation support to plan requirements. Action 2.2, update codes to provide tools to support an appropriate physical structure. And G 4.1, provide marketable and affordable housing. And A 4.1, zone for 23,000 housing units in a variety of types. This is the Miller criteria. It meets the B and C. There is a significant change of conditions, making the zone change reasonably necessary to protect the public interest. The change in condition is increased demand for residential properties for affordable housing. Industrial zoning was never developed and is no longer needed and a residential use is more compatible with the surrounding properties, and the property was originally developed as a residential use. And C, a different land use category is more advantageous to the community as articulated in the comprehensive plan. The requested zone change will be more advantageous to the community and is not in conflict with the comprehensive plan. The zone change is an attempt to change the parcel zoning to a compatible residential zone that is consistent with the surrounding area and lot sizes. And the applicant has the burden of overcoming the presumption that the current zoning district designation is most appropriate designation. The area was zoned industrial when the ETZ came into effect in 1989. The industrial zone followed into our current zoning ordinance of the UDC, so it's still industrial. The property has legal non-conforming uses that were pre-existing before the county adopted a zoning code. Generally, residential uses are not allowed in industrial use, but there are legal non-conforming residential uses on contiguous properties also zoned industrial. The contiguous properties have not developed into industrial uses, but remain as industrial use for 36 years. The property previously had a residence which was demolished about 4 months ago and has remained vacant. And the next one is a proposed zone change is required requires major and unprogrammed capital expenditures by the county. The county will not incur any capital expenditures. This is all on the property owner. Location and collector of major thoroughfare. The access to the property is from Thorpe Road, which is an 85 road right-of-way, state-maintained collector road. And this is not strip zoning. And this is the spot zoning. The disharmony of the surrounding area. The zone change is a down zone from a more intense industrial use to a residential zone. The proposed land use could be interpreted as a spot zone. However, the property and contiguous properties are developed as residential. The property and contiguous properties have had industrial zoning for 36 years and have not developed as industrial use. The proposed residential zoning is more compatible with the surrounding land uses. The benefit of rezoning to the community or the owner of the parcel. The disharmony with the surrounding area, the benefit of the rezoning to the community or the owner of the parcel. The zone change is not a spot zone and will be consistent with the surrounding uses to the west and east. The proposed zone change promotes, allows impact use compared to present industrial uses. Okay, staff findings. You have the authority to hear this case and rule on it. And the application is consistent with the UDC. The zone change request is for a D1, low residential. There is sufficient change in conditions that the property has not developed as an industrial use, and has retained legal nonconforming residential use and its historical residential use in the area. Number 4, the zone change to a D1 district is not considered spot zoning. The property may be considered a spot zone because contiguous properties are zoned I1. However, the property and contiguous properties have retained their legal nonconforming residential use and not developed as industrial. For the comprehensive plan, it meets goal G 2.2, action A 2.2, G 4.1. Based on the findings of fact, staff analysis, and agency comments, staff recommends approval of case number Z25007, a zone change from I1 to D1. And that concludes my presentation.
Any questions of staff?
I guess I just have a clarification question. That this area and the area surrounding it is currently zoned I1.
I1.
But it looks to me like what you were saying is that the property next to it has been used as for residence.
Yes.
And this property was at one point had a home on it, but
Yes.
it's since been removed.
Yes.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Yes, they have not developed as industrial.
So there are no buildings on this property at this time?
No, it's vacant. It looks funky on the map. It really, I had a hard time, and so that's where I got the Plata survey and drew up the site plan because it's just crazy the way it's made.
I'm very familiar with the area as well. I had to jump on and look at some maps to kind of really see where the trailer's gonna go.
Right, and the contiguous land that's right between them and the other single-family residential is EBID land. So they can't expand anyway. It just has to stay that way.
I guess, and this isn't, maybe it's a question for the applicant, but because of the configuration of the property, and if we look at required setbacks,
Yes,
there's not a lot of room to build anything on that property. I mean, it's going to have to be situated in a,
yes.
kind of in an odd way, it looks like.
It's going to be tight, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
You also got to take into consideration the sewage, because they're going to have to drop in.
yes, he's going to have a more expensive septic system that requires it to be emptied once a month, so it's going to be quite, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Questions?
We hear from the applicant. Come on up. You have to see
morning.
Eileen.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Sarah?
Raise your right hand. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth under penalty of law? Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. We're originally from Tucson, so our father-in-law granted us to move there, and we decided to see if we could put a manufactured home for the purpose of family. Back in, I guess, July of last year, my sister-in-law had breast cancer, so we've been in New Mexico quite a bit, back and forth, and recently we've just been here to try to help her out. Now she's cancer-free. She's going through, her radiation treatments, and my wife and I decided it would be best for us to be close to family, and we also have a year-and-a-half granddaughter that we get to see and help grow. And that's the whole purpose of us applying for this, is for us to be closer to family and just be available.
Thank you. Questions for the applicant? Anyway, thank you very much. Anyone else to speak on this? Okay. Any other comments from staff or the commission? I'll ask for a motion.
I'll move, based on findings of fact, staff analysis, and comments, move to approve case number Z25-007, zone change from light industrial to low-density residential.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Lear, second by Commissioner Fisher to approve this. Roll call, Eileen.
Commissioner Uranga,
Yes.
Commissioner Lear,
Yes.
Commissioner Jimenez,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Fisher,
Yes.
Chair Sargis.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Administrative approvals.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and Commissioners.
Good morning.
Morning.
Well, we're back on track with our mapping of the building permits. So for the month of March, we issued 11 brand-new single-family residentials, which are mapped before you. We also issued 2 commercial permits. One was for a new cell tower in Chaparral, and then the other one was just for equipment installation in the Santa Teresa subdivision area. What is not mapped is we also issued 7 mobile home installation permits. 6 were on private property, the other way. 6 were on private property and 1 was in a mobile home park. We also issued 83 electrical permits and 54 plumbing permits. Any questions?
Questions of staff? Okay, moving along. Staff input? No? Wow. We're doing something right for a change? Okay, commission input. You guys are too easy this morning. All right, I'll take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second, Commissioner Jimenez. Voice vote. Those in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? We're out of here. Thank you.